What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the chat. I am Nico with Enter the Chat Gaming, and today I'm going to be talking about a new Nintendo Switch game that just came out recently from Devolver Digital, and that is Boomerang X. But before we get into any of that, if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subbed for more videos from me, Rico, and Toby all the time, and make sure you go over on YouTube or any of the podcast services and check out the Enter the Chat podcast as well. Let's get into it. So, what Boomerang X is essentially an arena shooter that would be the equivalent of giving Doom Guy a boomerang. Okay, it's really fast paced. You take on a bunch of enemies in a set location, then you move on to the next location. Much like Doom, you have a couple different abilities and things of that nature that you're going to collect along the way, and it's a really unique experience, and I'm really liking it. It's pretty awesome. I'm enjoying every minute of it. So basically, you wash up on the shore of this random beach on this island, and the first thing you discover is a boomerang that you then will learn new abilities for, like one that allows you to, use a slingshot ability that brings you toward the boomerang so you can get around very quickly. There's a scatter shot so you can hit more enemies at once. There's like a long distance piercer that goes through multiple enemies and like a sniper line, and even an ability that lets you slow down time. As you progress, you'll unlock all of these things and gain more and more abilities with the boomerang, and it just makes for a really unique experience. It's not like Doom where you're going to be switching between a bunch of different weapons all the time. You're going to be using the same weapon with a different variation on attacks, and I really like it. And it is an arena shooter where you're literally going to go into an area, there's going to throw waves of enemies at you, you're going to take out all these enemies and then progress to the next location. It's not super open world, it is extremely linear, but I think that's fine for what this game is. They're just trying to get you to pull off cool stuff with your boomerang because you have the ability to kind of fly all over the place, and that's one of the best parts, is how fast paced this game is. Now, I will say that the controls on the Nintendo Switch version, which is the version I played of this game, are a tad clunky, okay? There's so many different button combinations and things that you can do with the way the abilities are set up and all that. It just is a little clunky. I feel like it could have been done in a more smooth manner. Also, I've only played this game with a Pro Controller. I literally am scared to play this game handheld because I just feel with the amount of button things you gotta do, moving your hand all over, the little Joy-Cons would be a nightmare. It would be super uncomfortable to play this game with the little Joy-Cons. So I've avoided that entirely. I haven't even bothered playing this handheld. Now, handheld might be the way to play this game, however, because, like I said, I haven't played it, so I'm not 100% sure of this, but the game is incredibly fast-paced, like I mentioned before, and this can be a problem with the Nintendo Switch version. I definitely think this game would be superior on a PC version, which it is also available on, because of the fact that it is on the Switch, okay? It has this really unique art style. It's not like something that's gonna lag a lot, but for whatever reason on the Switch version, there are these like screen freezes that really slow down the gameplay, and that's why I think the PC version would be a whole lot better, because of the sheer fast-paced nature of this. Having that higher frame rate that you'd get on a PC version would probably make this an overall better experience. But this game is still totally playable and super fun on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not trying to, downplay that. It's just something worth mentioning that with the speed of this game, I could definitely see the PC version being superior. Now, again, the art style is super dope. It's like this painted kind of art style. Really unique. I really like it. All the locations and all the levels that you're going through look super good. All the abilities look good. It's just a very unique game, and I love it. It's just really cool. That's the biggest thing that drew me to this, aside from, the cool looking gameplay. The art style is something that just caught my attention when I saw this, the initial gameplay trailers and things like that. The art style is what really drew me to this, and then later watching the gameplay stuff, I was like, okay, I'm definitely picking this up day one. Now, another thing to note is the game is pretty short. Like it's only like, I want to say like 12 levels or something like that. It's not super long. You can do a chapter select and go back through, try and do things faster. It's just, it's relatively short, but I don't think this is a bad thing, because games like this where they just throw waves of enemies at you over and over can kind of get repetitive pretty quick. Like it is the way it is. It's just going to be the same stuff over, and you're going to get tired of it fairly quickly, which is why I enjoy how short this game is. You can get in and beat this in a day, no problem, and then have a good time with it, and then maybe later down the road come and pick it up again and play it again. And the game is only $20, so it's not like they're asking a whole lot for this shorter experience. They're asking, a small 20 bucks. I think it's totally worth it for the experience that you get out of this particular game. So I know this is a shorter video, but this is also a shorter game, so there's just not a lot to talk about in regards to it. I literally beat this. I want to say I beat it in like 3-4 hours, something like that. It's really not that long. and it is just, it's awesome. I highly recommend checking it out because, like I said, it is super fun. You can pull off some really cool stuff with the different abilities where you're like dashing and then you slow motion throw your boomerang at another enemy. There's a lot of really cool mechanics that you can do, and replayability is definitely there. You can try and pull off things, like I said, faster, do some cooler techniques and things like that. I would warn you, if you're playing this on like a Switch Lite or something, it could feel a little clunky and definitely uncomfortable just with the amount of button presses you have to do to pull off the different abilities and things of that nature. That could be a deterrent. If you have a PC and you're thinking about picking this up, definitely give it a go. Only 20 bucks. It'll run great on PC. I think this game is a treat. The art style is super unique. Devolver Digital really kills it with their games, and this is just another one to add to that list of awesome games. I'm assuming a lot of the graphical stuff will just get fixed in updates, and it's not something that happens so frequently that you really have to be worried about this being something that negatively impacts your experience. It happens occasionally where the screen will just freeze for a second. You're like, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden you're back into the fray and you're fighting again. So it's not something that ruins the experience. It's just something that I'm being nitpicky about because I am reviewing it. So definitely, I recommend picking this up for 20 bucks. I'm sure it'll be on sale. All the indie games on the eShop go on sale really quickly. So I definitely think this will go on sale here over the next month or so, and you'll be able to pick this up even at a lower price than the 20 bucks if maybe you want to wait for that. But that is all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you found this entertaining and helpful, and definitely thank you for entering the chat with me. Like I said earlier, make sure you sub to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, check out the podcast and all that other stuff, and make sure that you stick around for more stuff from us in the future. We cover all things gaming here. But thank you all for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.